Hey, Brian, we're here. Good to see you again.
Yeah, and you. Lovely to connect.
I was just wanted to have a quick chat with you today, just following on from the fantastic delivery at the Goal Setting Yes event you did in January. I've had lots of people tell me how inspired day it was, what they got from it, how they're progressing on their maps and everything. That was the goal mapping. I know that I wanted to ask you a bit more today about people taking all the next steps with that, and you talked about goal mapping. As well as life mapping. So I wanted to touch on that today. I know you've got an event in May, and I'm looking forward to coming along to that. But I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit what's the difference between life mapping and goal mapping?
Uh, Goal mapping, as the name would suggest, is focused on achieving goals. Mapping out your goals in words and pictures, like the people did at the Yes Group. And I so loved the day. I've got to be honest.
It was a great day.
Yeah, it was a really good day, I thought. And obviously that the people will probably remember by mapping out your goals, words and pictures, helps to activate both sides of your brain, commands your subconscious to move you towards your goals. Life mapping is about mapping out who you choose to be as a person to live your best life. You may have lots of different types of goals in your life. Career goals, financial goals, self-development goals, all sorts of goals. But in terms of you being your best and what that looks like, it doesn't change so much from one part of life. And so the life mapping day is about that. It's about thinking through what does it look like when I'm being my best, and then creating a map in words and pictures to command your subconscious to help you be your best a little more each and every day. There's a very simple philosophy to it. If you are being your best, it automatically leads you into doing your best in all your different activity, and you quite naturally, through the law of cause and effect, have your best results. A lot of our education and training is focused on learning skills and knowledge and doing it well. But really, the difference that makes a difference is not what we're doing so much as who we are being as a person when we are doing, because that leads to the having. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It does make sense. I talk a lot about the power of identity. So, I'm coming from a place of,
it's the same thing.
I'm a leader, I'm a pioneer, I'm a promoter of personal development. So, those are the sort of things that drive my behavior and create results from that. So, I'm being my best when I'm delivering on that.
Absolutely. And the reason why I start with goal mapping is because I think once people understand the fundamental principles of success, and that long-term success is not an accident. We can have a random success, a piece of good fortune, win the lottery or something, but living a successful life, that happens on purpose. And once people start to consciously think about what goals they want to set, really the next place to go to, the next step, and therefore it's the next workshop for me, is who will you need to be as a person in order to walk that path, do those things, take those actions, achieve those goals? Because it is who we're being, it's our qualities of character. And so in the life mapping workshop, the content of the day goes deeper than goal mapping and is more emotional. Goal mapping is very focused on the mental. Life mapping is more focused on the emotional and how we develop our self-esteem, self-confidence, feelings of self-worth. And then the map sends a command to our subconscious to help us trigger more of those feel-good chemicals like serotonin, so that we more often feel the winning attitudes and live with those qualities that empower our behavior. And I have in total 4 systems, because they cover the different areas of what I think are the key aspects of success. We're each a combination, Karl, of mental, emotional, and physical. Those 3 things together are shaping who we are as a person, our character. And and some techniques focus on those three areas: goal mapping, the mental; life mapping is the emotional; action mapping is the physical.
Right.
And then they culminate in the self mapping, which is more the soul, spiritual.
Well, that's awesome, and I'm looking forward to going down that path for myself. I mean, when we delivered the goal mapping, the goal setting Yes event at Yes Group, and you're part of that day, it was the feedback was great, but I wasn't getting enough of it myself, so I came along to your workshop and spent the day doing that myself, and I'm doing my best to look at that map.
There and the others, to be honest, it was really nice.
Yeah. So I mean, I was in the morning, I've got my map now, and in the morning I try to look at it, and last thing at night, so I'm sort of pre-programming my sleeping as well as my early morning mind when it's a little slower than it can. And what I found doing is I've made little notes on my map about little distinctions I've made just to come to me while I've been looking at the map. So that's been really helpful. But I think, one thing that I'm still not as fast with as I'd like to be, and that is the actual the right brain drawing. I mean, I did drawings when I was there, and I love drawing, and I like color, and I know for sure when I have a clear vision in my own mind, and that's compelling, I am unstoppable, and that's why things get results. But I'm not saying I'm blocked, I'm just saying I'm not doing enough drawing. Is there any tips you can give us so we can do more drawing?
Firstly, the thing I would say is the more you do it, the easier it becomes. It is like a habit pattern.
Right.
My drawings have improved enormously since I started. My early drawings were, it was like some 5-year-old child had picked up a crayon. And of course, I don't class myself as an artist in any way. But my sister-in-law is a classically trained artist. And the thing that she said to me had quite an impact on me, which is that my ability to express myself using imagery has advanced enormously. And I think that's a very key thing, because the real principle that we are focused on here is not about quality of the drawing. It is about sending a goal command to our subconscious mind in a way, in a language, a format that our subconscious understands. And that isn't words, that's imagery. That's why we dream in pictures. That's why the work of the greatest psychologists, people like Carl Jung, is all about communicating with the subconscious using pictures or imagery.
And symbols, right?
Yeah, well, this is a really important point. Jung identified that very simple shapes and symbols have a very powerful impact on the subconscious. Now, you can have a simple shape like a triangle in a certain color that could mean a huge amount to you, and it means absolutely nothing to anybody else, but it's still going to work beautifully in terms of commanding your subconscious, so long as you have the written words for your conscious understanding. And this principle runs in all my mapping systems, words and pictures. The words are for the conscious mind, so that we can be clear and precise about what it is that we want. And the imagery is to command the subconscious. Now, I've been looking at my life map today. Here it is. And it sits next door to my goal map. Because on my goal map, the who, well, sometimes the who is me, like here. This is me taking exercise every day. If I expand who I need to be to achieve my goals, well, it becomes my life map. I'm only showing you the pictures here. The thing that's been quite interesting for me in the last month is that I was working with one of my other coaches that trains the system. And they said, take me through your life map. And I did it really quickly. And I said, I shine, and there's peace in my mind, and passion in my heart, and a glow in my body, and I'm attractive in my finances. And she stopped me and she said, I am. I was like, oh yeah, I am happy. And I went, and I'm grateful that she know I am And the words in both a goal map and a life map are important. And they're in the form of an affirmation. And an affirmation is you making a command. And that always, it's not just a quality like grateful, passionate. So I was sort of skipping on. It's about giving a command to yourself by reading the words. I am happy. I am grateful. I am balanced. And as you say the word, you look at the picture. And so sometimes the pictures are bringing me greater clarity about the worded statement. And sometimes it's saying the words while I'm looking at the pictures that's bringing me just a much simpler picture. And some of the pictures, you know, are very basic. They're not, it's not.
Yeah, but you know, I work with brands, and I've worked with, you know, lots and lots of dozens and dozens of, you know, Fortune 500 brands, and logos are simple. The better, the more simplistic, the better sometimes, you know, and colors, you know. And so, yeah, there is a lot of power in those things. You know, in icons and all our apps and everything, there is power in all of these things, and the simplicity shouldn't be underestimated.
No, it's moved that way instead of lots of written statements. And when I'm coaching somebody with goal mapping or life mapping, as I was earlier, I'm always wanting them to make their statements really succinct. You know, I travel a great deal. I'm in an airport most weeks going somewhere. And of course, airports now are full of symbols. Because it's international. It is. It's recognizable. When I talk to people about goal mapping and life mapping, no matter what country they come from and what language they speak, when they go to sleep at night, they all dream in pictures because it's the language of the subconscious. You know, the conscious mind may know a particular language like Swedish, French, German, something English, but the subconscious is always thinking in pictures. And if we want our subconscious autopilot to help us be our best, move along our path in life, achieve our goals, we must make sure our commands are in both words for the conscious mind, but very importantly, the imagery for the subconscious. And if you're someone, because I know some people that draw their map and they're a bit embarrassed afterwards. Well,
me.
Well, then don't show it to anyone if that's the way you feel. But
well, you know, I have to break through that, and I think
itself there and your feeling. You know,
what I wanted to say was, you know, that's the point. It's about breaking through and being uncomfortable about it, and then my question comes back to, you know, where can I get some information on drawing better? You know, 'cause I love drawing, you know, and I see all these lovely pencils, all these different colors, and I've got about 4 fountain pens with all like red and light blue, turquoise color, and I like the style of that, and I like to play with these things and to make things memorable in that way.
There's a great program that I did some years ago called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, and I think it's, if my memory serves me correctly, it's by a lady called Julia Cameron.
Okay.
And what she does, when I did the program, it was a video recording, but I expect they have a newer version online. She shows you and breaks the process down of really how anyone can draw anything.
Nice.
If they look and see what is there. But most people look and then they try and draw actually from their imagination or from an old habit pattern. But if you actually break down what you're seeing, at the moment I'm seeing an absolutely beautiful view because I'm at home and I'm looking out over the beach to the sea and the cliffs and everything.
Oh, go on, just quickly turn around the picture. Let's see it on. You're teasing me now.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm going to see if you've done your dusting. Yeah, he's done his dusting. That's good. No, that's beautiful.
Yeah. I'm all clean and
yeah, lovely. Okay, come back.
If I was to take a piece of paper and to take my time and to keep looking at what's there and mimic that on the paper, what you find is that you can actually draw quite well. And she teaches you how to look at colors and contrast. And what amazed me was she said, take a photo that you already have of a family member, you know, and take a quick look and then draw a picture of that person. Of course, it looked awful. And then she said, all right, now take a clean piece of paper, take that picture, put it in the corner, and she shows you how to break the photo down, the head and shoulders shot, where you can draw a recognizable image of, you know, some family member.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
You can't do it, but I tell you, it's just about learning how, like so many other things in life.
Yeah, thanks for that, Brian. I wanted to talk about people that have been on your courses a little bit, and I want to keep it short so that we don't go over the 30 minutes we said we'd spend today. And I wanted to just say, you know, when people come onto all your courses, then we've done, you know, but you do the Shine environment, but you've also teaching people how to teach others how to goal map. And I just wanted to touch on that today as well.
Okay.
Just for a couple of minutes before I move on to say a couple of things about when we're going to be able to see you next.
Yeah, it's actually the most important work that I do is the trainer program that certifies other people to teach goal mapping. And we also have a certification for people that want to teach life mapping and my other work. There are 1,300 teachers, trainers around the world now, and
wow.
they span a lot of areas. So some are financial consultants, some are corporate trainers, management trainers, sales trainers. Some are state school teachers teaching it in classes. Some are freelance educationalists. A lot of life coaches, a lot of therapists.
Yeah.
And what most people are doing is they're combining it with something else that they teach. So they teach goal mapping, and they also teach well-being or meditation.
Gotcha.
Or, you know.
Yeah, I think it's important because I think it's good to give people a context for how broad this is and how other people can apply it to use it, so that people watching this now understand how they might be able to use goal mapping in helping themselves and others as well. Because we have a lot of coaches and trainers come along to the Yes Group, and you know, I want to introduce more people to goal mapping. I know that you're coming down to the Yes Group in the next couple of months. You said you'd drop in, and you're going to have a table there. Going forward, I'm really looking forward to hearing from you a bit more and seeing some more, meeting more of your. You said you're going to get some of your practitioners to come down and share with us a bit more as well. That would be really great.
Yeah, I'll bring some volunteers with me.
And I just didn't want to end the call without actually, you know, having a call for action for people if they want to take the next step and get involved with doing some of this mapping. I think you've got another event, and it's not so far away from where our core membership is in London. So I think although it's very accessible to everyone being at Heathrow, is that right? Yeah,
I've got an event at Heathrow on the 5th of May, and that's a whole day life mapping workshop. And I have a webinar coming up, which is absolutely free if people want to know more. That's on the 11th of next month. 11th
of April, right? Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll put the link underneath this when I post it on Facebook, so people can find that for the webinar and your event. And
like the goal mapping, we've got free templates and instruction, and I'll be guiding people on the webinar into how they create their map, so that they can value regardless of whether they can come to the day or not.
Sounds good. And I think it's all about finding people who are on a similar journey, finding people who are going to give you that reminder to stay consistent and to keep looking at your notes and your goal maps and your images that are going to drive you forward. I mean, it's basically, you know, my primary goal map is having, you know, 100 Yes Groups, 1,000 Yes Groups, 10,000 Yes Groups as it grows, and looking at what needs to happen in terms of the systems and the people. And that's a great daily reminder to put me back on track. So I thank you for helping me get to that point.
It's a snapshot of what you want. You can go into more detail, but it's sort of all there on one page.
Right. Cool. Well, Brian, thanks so much for spending half hour with me today. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Yes Group. I think it's the 28th of March. Do you think you might be able to make that one? Or are you going to be
there on the 28th of March? I think I'll be there.
So come along and meet Brian and find out more about goal mapping. And we look forward to seeing you all for the next Yes Group, where we've got Brandon Block, Ian Young, and a couple of other people that are going to rock it. So you come along and we'll see you soon. Thanks, Brian.
Pleasure. Nice to be with you.
See you soon.
Take care.
Cheers. Bye.